Hey, this is Yulia and welcome to my channel. Here I talk all things Canada, working in Canada, studying in Canada, living in Canada, and today we'll be talking about volunteering. Why do you need volunteering in your life? How one can qualify for volunteering? Watch this video till the end and you'll get all the answers. Let's go. One thing to mention here, this is not an international program or exchange when a student can come to Canada and volunteer. No, this is just local opportunities for the students so they can kind of make friends and practice the language. So what are the types of volunteering? You can volunteer at events like festivals, music festivals, different activities within the city. You can volunteer in hospitals, in stores, in some non-profit organizations. It depends only on what you're interested in. You can volunteer to be a driver or a teacher. You can help a women's shelter. So basically anything that you like, or if let's say you have an organization in mind, you can ask them if they need any volunteers. There are no specific requirements to be a volunteer. Some positions are 18 plus, some of them can be 12 plus or I don't know, 7 plus, depending on the event, depending on the organization. When I volunteered at Blues Fest in Ottawa, some positions were suitable for kids, but some were not. I was working at the bar, so I had to be obviously 21 plus so I can help people with alcohol, check their IDs, but also depending on the position, you might need special training, special licensing. In Ontario, to serve alcohol, you will need Smart Serve. For any medical positions, you might need some first aid training or something like that. Again, this will be listed in your volunteer job description and be like, hey, you need this and that. If you don't have this license or this training, they might transfer you to another position. Some positions might require you to be a bilingual person, so speak English and French. Some positions are fine with just English. Again, in Ottawa, for example, at Blues Fest, they were like, English is fine. When I volunteered with Parks Canada, which is a federal organization, I had to be bilingual because I was volunteering at a festival and it was on the other side in Quebec, so I had to be both French and English speaking. Even though I spoke just bonjour, ça va, that was enough. They were like, that's good, that's good. Let's talk hours and shifts. Again, depending on the position, on the organization. Some may ask you to volunteer just for one event. Let's say it's a gala dinner and they need volunteers just for the dinner. Some of them, like Blues Fest, they will ask you to volunteer for at least 5 shifts if you want to get a pass to the festival after. If you don't want it, you can just volunteer for 3 shifts and that's totally fine. Again, all this information will be written in your job description, volunteer description, or you can always ask the person who is leading the volunteers, who is the volunteer lead, and be like, hey, how many shifts do you want me to work? So why would you volunteer? You can work instead of volunteering, you can study. Well, first of all, volunteering is a great opportunity for you to get into the industry, to learn some things. When I came to Canada, I was new to the events industry and I was like, what do I do? So I had to volunteer for I think 120 hours as a part of my program, but I've met so many people, I've learned so much about the events, about the setups, about dinners and birthdays and weddings and different events. So it was a great start for me. Again, as I've mentioned before, you will meet a lot of people, you can network with them, and then they can invite you for another event. This is what happened to me. Me and my friend were volunteers for Canada Day, and I think the first one was not even paid, but then the next year they contacted me and were like, hey, Yulia, do you want to come and help us? It's gonna be paid, blah, blah, blah. And after that year, I was getting the invites first. They were like, hey, girls, are you available? If not, then we'll find someone else. But me and my friend were the first ones. Another reason to volunteer is that by volunteering, you'll get Canadian work experience. Some companies might require you to have the Canadian work experience, but if you're a student and you cannot work for more than 20 hours, you can always volunteer, get this experience. Also, some companies and organizations, they will give you a reference letter, give you a diploma or whatever you call it, saying Miss Yulia was participating in this event, she volunteered for this amount of hours. You can always ask them because not everyone offers you this, but if you ask and say, hey, I need this reference letter for my future employment, for my, I don't know, school, for my anything, then they will gladly do that for you. But also for volunteering, you don't need any specific skills. As for work, you most likely will need some experience or some skills. Volunteering is just like, as long as you can do the stuff, if you're responsible and you're always on time, it's good. So you can start by volunteering and then get a job because you'll have this experiences in your resume. Another amazing reason to volunteer is that you will gain some leadership skills, some interpersonal skills. Because let's say you started volunteering this year. In 2 years, you might be the lead, like the volunteer lead. So in your resume, you can always put, I've led like a group of 20 volunteers. And it doesn't matter if you don't have work experience. The company will see that you spent your free time on volunteering, you were building your skills, you were networking with people, and they will most likely invite you for an interview. If you're new to Canada, volunteering is a great way to practice your language. Like, you just go there and talk to people and no one's gonna like make fun of you or something. You just like go and talk. If, let's say, you came to Montreal and you speak English well, fluently, but your French is like, nah, you can go volunteer, meet people, speak French, practice French, and then like after a summer of volunteering, you'll be like fluent in French, trust me. Also, volunteering gives you perks like free food and free tickets to the events. As for food, they have to feed you if you're working a shift of, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. Again, depending on the event, depending on the organization. But if you're a student, if you're broke, if you just came to Canada and you don't have much money, you volunteer, you get food. Most likely it's gonna be like pizza and other like finger food like chicken wings, fries and stuff like that. But free food is better than no food. And as for the tickets, let's say music festivals, you volunteer for like 5 shifts, 10 shifts, and you'll get a pass for the event. If you like music and you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on music passes, just volunteer and then you'll attend your favorite music festival for free. So where can you find volunteer opportunities? Well, first of all, Google. I've said that many times. You just put volunteering Canada, volunteer Toronto, and all the links gonna be there. Don't ask me in comments, Yulia, where do we look for volunteering? You literally paste it in Google and you'll get the answer. The second website is volunteer.ca. Pretty self-explanatory, like volunteer Canada. Also check Facebook groups. Also check different college or university networks like International Center or like Student Association. A lot of volunteering opportunities are posted within the college network, so you can find them there. But also try searching on Facebook like keywords. Be like volunteer Montreal, volunteer Ottawa. A, there's gonna be a lot of groups. B, there's gonna be posts when people are looking for volunteers. You can also try LinkedIn because they might have something for you, but don't forget to fill in your profile, because if your profile has no picture, no information about you, I wouldn't hire you. You can also ask your profs or your student friends, because if someone is volunteering, they can be like, yeah, I'm like volunteering at this event, you want to join me? And then you can kind of like go and volunteer. And this is it for today. I hope the video was helpful as usual. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on all the notifications so you do not miss a new video. And I'll see you very soon. Bye!